Elevating the game, how Coco Gauff's grace under pressure inspires millions. The sun was sinking low over the stadium, the court shimmering under floodlights that painted every grain of clay in gold. The tension was electric, the kind of silence that feels louder than sound itself. Coco Gauff stood at the baseline, her chest rising and falling in rhythm with the pulse of thousands watching. Her opponent's serve came fast, a blur. Coco read it early, took 2 quick steps, and unleashed a forehand that sliced the air like lightning. The crowd gasped, then exploded in a roar that felt like thunder rolling through her bones. She didn't scream, didn't leap. She just lifted her face to the sky and smiled, that serene, grounded smile that had come to define her. That was the moment Coco Gauff reminded the world what grace under pressure truly looks like. The roots of resilience. Before the lights, before the trophies, before the world knew her name. There was a girl from Delray Beach, Florida, running sprints on cracked courts under the blistering sun. Her father, Coco Gauff, a former basketball player, was her first coach. Her mother, Candy, a former track star, was her biggest cheerleader. Together, they built not just an athlete, but a warrior of composure. From the beginning, Coco was taught that talent was only half the story. The other half? Grace. Grace to rise after a loss. Grace to handle victory, without arrogance. Grace to stay calm when the world expected chaos. Pressure is a privilege, her father often told her. It means you've earned the moment. Those words sank deep into her soul, long before the cameras, before Wimbledon, before the world placed its expectations on her young shoulders. The spark at Wimbledon, the summer that changed everything. At just 15 years old, Coco entered Wimbledon as an unknown qualifier. By the time she left, she was a household name. The match that ignited her legend came against her idol, Venus Williams. For a girl who grew up watching Venus dominate the very court she was now standing on, it was more than a match. It was a dream meeting reality. But Coco didn't let it drown her focus. She moved like a veteran, played with clarity and stunned Venus, and the world with a straight sets victory. The headline screamed, "The future has arrived." Reporters flooded her press conferences. Sponsors lined up. Social media crowned her the next Serena. But when asked how she felt, Coco's response wasn't cocky or starstruck. She said softly, "Venus is the reason I play tennis. I just hope I made her proud." In that sentence, humility, respect, grace, the world fell in love. The weight of expectation. Fame arrived faster than most could handle. Overnight, Coco became a symbol of hope, of youth, of excellence. But every symbol carries a shadow. Suddenly, every tournament became a test. Every loss, a headline. Every gesture, a meme or critique. She was no longer just playing tennis. She was performing under the world's microscope. In interviews, she admitted, "It's hard sometimes. People expect perfection, but I'm still learning who I am." The pressure was suffocating at times. Early exits from major tournaments triggered whispers of burnout and overhype. But what separates Coco Gauff from most prodigies isn't her talent. It's her response. Instead of shrinking, she grew. Instead of running from pressure, she leaned into it, learning to use it as fuel. The turning point. The fire of 202. The summer of 2023 marked the rebirth of Coco Gauff, not as a prodigy, but as a champion forged by fire. After several tough losses earlier that year, she made a coaching change, refining her strategy and sharpening her mental game. Many questioned the decision, saying she was too young to restart. Coco smiled and said, "Sometimes, to move forward, you have to realign your vision." Then came the U.S. hardcourt season, and with it, her transformation. She tore through opponents with a confidence that radiated calm. At the Cincinnati Open, she defeated world number 1 Iga Swiatek, a player she'd never beaten before. It was more than a win, it was a statement. And then came the U.S. Open. Through every round, she faced immense pressure, playing in her home country, under the bright lights, against seasoned champions. But Coco's composure never wavered. She read the court like poetry, counterpunching with elegance, gliding across the baseline with quiet fury. When she reached the final against Aryna Sabalenka, the tension was palpable. Sabalenka's raw power took the first set, but Coco didn't panic. Between points, she closed her eyes, breathed, and whispered, "You've been here before. Stay calm." And she did. She fought back, point by point, game by game, until victory was hers. When the final ball sailed out, Coco dropped to her knees, tears streaming. The stadium roared. She was no longer the young phenom. She was America's champion. Grace under pressure. The Coco way. What makes Coco Gauff special isn't just her skill. It's her stillness. In a sport defined by emotion, Coco plays like a dancer in control of every movement. Even when the score tilts against her, she doesn't crumble. Her grace under pressure comes from three pillars she often mentions: faith, family, and focus. Faith. Coco prays before every match. She views her talent as a gift, her victories as gratitude. Family. Her parents remain her anchor. They keep her grounded, reminding her that win or lose, she's still their daughter. Focus. Coco trains her mind as much as her body: meditation, journaling, and mental resets. She once said, "The louder the crowd gets, the quieter I become inside. That's where I find my power." It's that composure, that inner silence, that inspires millions. Because in Coco's calm, people see strength. In her balance, they find hope, the role model generation needed. Coco Gauff represents more than a tennis star. She embodies a cultural shift. The future, a legacy still unfolding. As Coco continues to rise, winning titles in Beijing, Wuhan, and beyond, one thing is clear: she's not done evolving. At 21, she's already achieved more than many do in a lifetime, yet her hunger remains humble. "Every match is a lesson," she says. "I haven't played my best tennis yet." Her rivals respect her. The media admires her. And the fans, they adore her because she represents something purer. In an era obsessed with viral moments, Coco Gauff gives us something timeless, a reminder that character outlasts fame. Her legacy won't be defined by numbers alone, but by the millions she inspired to breathe, to believe, and stay calm in the storm. Epilogue. The symphony of stillness. Under the flashing cameras and roaring applause, Coco collects her trophy, eyes glistening, heart at peace. As she raises it high, she doesn't just lift a piece of silver. She lifts the spirit of everyone watching who's ever felt overwhelmed, doubted, or dismissed. Because Coco's story isn't about perfection, it's about poise. It's about how to stand tall when the world shakes. It's about grace under pressure, and how that grace can elevate not just a game, but an entire generation. Her journey teaches one universal truth: the calmest heart often beats the loudest. And as the world watches her next chapter unfold, one thing is certain: Coco Gauff isn't just playing tennis. She's rewriting what it means to win. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.